Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You pigs!
Yeah.
Don't touch me, or I'll kill you!
A picsába mi ez? Írjátok ki a fattyút!
Még sajnálni fogod, hogy...
Yeah. Yeah.
Megdöglesz!
Te büdös! Kibaszok veled!
Yeah.
Véget, te genyó!
Left. Talmor gets to the left, along the street. Yeah.
Hát ez rövid lesz!
Yeah.
Szétszabdallak, te fostalicska!
Ah!
Eltaposlak, mint egy tetvet! Kitekerem a nyakat, te nyomoronc!
Tudod, hogy fog végződni?
Flee!
Kapsz egy Hamburg!
Yeah. Yeah.
Kibalázlás
Véget, te
lesz!
genyó!
Please, anyone!
Kill you all.
There!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Run
No!
Yeah.
Most véget!
Megöllek, te büdös!
Yeah.
Run for it! Kapsz egyet?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Megdög lesz!
Yeah. Yeah.
Nyírt ki a francba!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god! Wait!
Jesus Christ!
Érje már ki valaki!
Help! Scottish has been attacked! Do something! Help!
Quickly, everyone! Get your asses here!
Hey! And loose! Hagyjuk! Húzzunk innen!
Quickly! We're closing the gate!
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Yeah. Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours.
Who is that?
I don't know. Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Thank you.
Have you idlers nothing better to do? Get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage? Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground. But a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
I hear you came from Skalitz today. It must have been terrible there. How did it happen?
Sigismund's army appeared out of nowhere. There were so many of them, not just infantry, but cavalry, too. Those foreign mercenaries with their strange helmets and the souls of beasts.
Heavens above!
They began murdering. They cut down anyone who didn't flee to the castle and destroyed everything in their path. The terrible cries of the wounded and the dying, I'll never forget it. It was only by some miracle I managed to take one of their horses and ride here.
How terrible. All the saints in heaven must have been watching over you to keep you alive. But you're safe here now.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
Oh, damn it, I'm hungry.
I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes. I can't understand why he'd waste his talents, but I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Ah, milady. You are fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honoured.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bozhena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear. Aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the outer bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Must eat. Oh, damn, I'm tired.
Please tell me what happened in Skalitz. I have kin there.
It seemed like any other day, and then I saw thick smoke rising above the hamlet of Rovna. Soon Sigismund's army were finished there and came for us. The order to attack must have come even before the alarm bell rang.
God preserve us.
We all ran towards the castle for shelter, but they were too fast for us. They slaughtered everyone they caught and torched their houses. I barely escaped, and they murdered my parents.
God bless you, boy. I'm terribly sorry for your loss.
Good evening.
Where's that chamber for me to sleep?
Evans, are you still confused after what happened to you? It's in the lodge in the courtyard.
Thank you. If I needed some food, who should I ask?
Who do you think, young man? Me, of course. And if you want something extra, I could help you out with that too. Good luck then.
Hey.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to. But to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you, but I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. A fellow by the name of Kunish owed money to Father, who sent me to collect it from him. Only Kunish had no intention of paying. It got a bit heated, as often happens when there's money involved, but Kunish still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig.
I'd been secretly learning sword fighting and hiding it from my parents. So when we assembled the sword, I tried a few moves with it. There's a big difference between a wooden sword and a real one. Maybe if I hadn't taken that sword in my hand, I wouldn't be here today.
You're full of surprises.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz. Father told me to take shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers. And then I saw him knocking down one Cuman after another. I never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother. And he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I needed a horse to get to the safety of Talmberg and to warn you all.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
Oh, you poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding, those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Harville punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Henry, wake up.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Sign from God. We should have fled to the woods.
Keep your old wives' tales to yourself. Anyway, do you think Sigismund wouldn't catch up with us in the forest? Here, at least, we have a chance to defend ourselves. The well is deep, and we've got decent stocks of food.
I've heard from the spy that Sigismund's hired himself a mob of foreign mercenaries. They don't know this country like we do. We could hide out somewhere until it blows over.
Maybe. Only all they have to do is lean on some Scarlet serf and he'll happily tell them everything.
Aye. I didn't think of that.
Not that I'm spoiling for a fight, but if I have to choose a place for one, then right here behind solid walls is it.
True enough.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Do you know what's happening?
No. What about you?
Me? How could I?
I saw you with Sir Robot. Didn't he tell you anything?
No, nothing.
Good luck to you.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Do you know what's happening?
Sigismund. Who else? That bastard conquered Skalitz, and now he's come to take Talmberg. Farewell.
Do you think we can drive back Sigismund's forces?
I reckon not. There's too few of us. And anyway, we ain't prepared for a siege. And if he's really got such a big army, he might not even hold out against the first offensive.
Talmberg's a strong castle, though. It can handle a siege.
The best thing would be to join forces with Skalitz and wipe Sigismund's bastards off the face of the earth.
That's probably why they attacked so quick, so we wouldn't have time to join forces.
Aye, you might be right. For sure Sigismund ain't no fool. A backstabbing swine, maybe, but no fool.
You're right there. Good day to you.
Do you know what's happening?
Don't ask me, I don't know shit. Just a minute ago, I was sleeping after a day's watch at the gate. Good luck to you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
What's happening? Have you heard anything?
No. It could be Sigismund's army, or his scouts, or maybe Scarlet's folk who survived the pillaging. I wouldn't expect nothing good. Take care now.
Do you think we can drive back Sigismund's forces?
Good day to you. What do you need?
Farewell.
Good health to you.
Do you know what's happening?
I don't know, but I think I saw horsemen. Probably Sigismund and his mercenaries come to raid us. God be with you. Hmm?
God be with you. God be with you.
God be with...
Do you know what's happening?
Fucking Sigismund.
Are you sure?
I overheard a scout Divish sent to see how things look in Skalitz. It's Sigismund's soldiers for sure. Fucking Sigismund. May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you. May the Lord watch over you.
Good day. May the Lord watch over you.
What's going on?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Divish sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And Sir Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
Good luck to you.
Halt! Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions. Who else, Robber?
Sir Ansig. What a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzik, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
Thank God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left the storm in the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
Well, what will you do then?
We'll march to Ratai. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense, and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But, sir...
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Valdic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will, and good luck to you and your people too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out! It's only a short way to right there now.
Men, tonight we'll have triple patrols. Sort out the watches between you as always. And if I catch anyone boozing, playing dice or slacking off, I'll personally break every bone in his body. I want you to keep a close eye on everything nearby. Sigismund will surely have sent spies, and likely men as well, to follow the Skalitz people now he knows they've fled. Keep your eyes peeled.
Damn.
What is it you need?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch on the battlements with my men?
Is that a request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yes to.
Of course I'll help. I'll have to pay you back somehow after all you've done for me.
Splendid. And don't worry, I'll tell the men to relieve you later.
Take care now. Good day to you.
Have you any further orders for me?
Keep watch on the battlements for now. I'll send someone to relieve you later.
God be with you.
Wandering around like a stray sheep. Must be your first watch, eh? I don't think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall and wait till morning. I'll show you what's what.
I will. Thank you. What do you think about the Skalitz folk managing to slip away like that?
I can't imagine how they did it. The more I think about it, they was either blessed, or Sigismund's mercenary army ain't up to much. When you're on campaign, you keep watch no matter how much it's pissing down. If any of us make such a cock-up, Sir Robard would flay the skin off our backs.
You only say that because you never saw them attack.
Aye. Well, it's a shame your folks couldn't be saved.
Is Sir Robard really that tough?
Tough? Aye. But he's fair. He's a veteran of many a campaign, so he knows warcraft.
I believe it.
Good luck to you.
What do you think about the Skalitz folk?
It's a hell of a thing. First, everyone is shitting themselves that Sigismund is coming, and then it turns out like this. Praise the Lord they got out of the siege. Skalitz Castle is well fortified, all right, but I hear Sigismund's army is huge, and facing him is suicide. Sir Radzig did the right thing. I'm sorry you didn't all manage to get away.
So am I.
May God ease your pain.
Thank you.
I reckon that Sir Radzig must be a good man, the way he looks after his people. But you probably know him better.
Not really. My father was forging a sword for him, and when he came to have a look at it, we exchanged a few words. That's it.
Then that's a fine lord. Farewell.
What do you think about how the Skalitz folk managed to get away?
Fortune smiled on them, that's for certain. Sigismund must be seething with rage.
It's just a shame Fortune didn't smile on all of them.
Oh, shit. Sorry. And you know Sir Radzig Kobyla?
I wouldn't say I know him. I've seen him a few times. Why do you ask?
He must be a fine lord to take such good care of every one of his serfs.
Surely all the lords do that.
Ah, I could tell you some stories.
About Sedilish?
Jesus, no. I didn't mean it like that. Just that I heard stories from other soldiers that would make your skin crawl.
I see.
Good luck to you.
What do you think about that surprise?
I was surprised, all right. I'm glad them people were saved, though. I'm just as glad it weren't Sigismund. For sure he'll come here in the end, too. But now at least we got time to get ready for him.
Maybe he'll leave Talmberg be.
Maybe, maybe not. Could be he was only out to get Sir Radzig, because he's Wenceslas's hetman. And Skalitz is a rich town, so there was plenty of loot for the taking. 2 birds with 1 stone. So he might be satisfied and leave us alone.
Reckon we'll see soon enough, one way or the other.
By the way, Henry. It is Henry, ain't it? I was sorry to hear about your parents. They've gone on to better things. May the Lord watch over you.
What do you think about how the Skalitz folk managed to flee the siege?
Thank the Lord. I thought it was Sigismund descending on us.
It seems everyone thought that.
Well, we were all expecting the worst. And the truth is, I'm still worried what will happen when Sigismund comes here. And come he will, of that I'm sure. I just hope we'll be as fortunate when we're face to face with that fucker. By the way, Henry, my condolences.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
What do you think about the flight of the Skalitz folk?
I'd say Sir Radzig is a fine lord. He made the most of the situation and saved his subjects. You don't see that very often.
He was lucky that big storm came.
But that's just it. Something happens by chance and you turn it to your advantage. There's not many capable of thinking so fast. Take care now.
May the Lord watch over you.
Everyone to the Bailey Battlement. Quickly, we have visitors.
See how the self-appointed king wins the love and respect of his loyal subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. You may be in for a surprise, though. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Skalitz and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markwart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king, and here in Talmberg divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday, His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Sir Radzig Kobyla, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know, the Sir Radzig of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzig is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your army?
Am I to inform the king, then, that Sir Radzig Kobyla is not at Talmberg, and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzig Kobyla is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
My wife's brother finally paid back the dozen groschen he owed me.
What, do you mean the money you lent him last winter? He took his time.
He did. But I didn't want to upset the old woman by chasing him for it.
It's better never to lend money.
God be with you.
Why did Sigismund burn down Skalitz and then come here too?
That's war for you, lad. Certain lords have resolved to take things into their own hands and eliminate anyone who doesn't share their view. Unfortunately, Sir Radzig is one of those. And what's more, he was sitting on a pile of silver that could help King Wenceslas's allies.
What happened in Kuttenberg?
Kuttenberg? Well, I'm just a simple soldier. But the good Lord gave me ears, and I've heard some things from Sir Divish and from those who fled from Sigismund's pillaging.
Were there many?
Indeed. But it was the Kuttenberg mercenaries who came to see me, because I knew them from before.
I see.
Listen, lad, these are all games of the high aristocracy. In Prague, a cabal of nobles rebelled against King Wenceslas, wealthy aristocrats who took against our king for reasons of their own. There's no doubt Sigismund had his fingers in the whole affair. Him and Wenceslas's cousin, Jobst. And that cabal helped him abduct the king.
So then why did Sigismund attack Kuttenberg?
Why do you think?
So he could loot it?
Correct. King Charles, may God grant him eternal glory, built Prague into a proper royal city, while King Wenceslas took a liking to Kuttenberg. After Prague, it's the most important city in Bohemia, in the entire Holy Roman Empire. He who commands the Kuttenberg silver is king.
So Kuttenberg sided with Wenceslas because he favoured it?
Now you're starting to understand. When Sigismund imprisoned Wenceslas and took control of Prague, the people of Kuttenberg began to raise an army against him. So with the attack on Kuttenberg, Sigismund killed two birds with one stone. He defeated Wenceslas's most powerful allies before they could stand against him, and also gained immense wealth.
Where did these Cumans come from anyway?
I don't know much about them, only what the Chamberlain said. That they came to Hungary from the east and settled there. They're godless barbarians and merciless fighters. The nobles used to say the Hungarian king shouldn't enlist them, because they dishonor our rules of warfare. But when there's power and money to be had, it seems that honor isn't worth my spit. And believe me, it's always about power and money.
So Robard, I need to get to Skalitz.
What would you do there, lad? Sigismund might have left, but the place will be swamped with robber barons, brigands, deserters, and other vermin. And anyway, your lord commanded you to stay here.
Never mind.
and make broth from corpses.
We ought to celebrate.
God
By all
heavens.
The best of it is, that pair of idiots, Prokop and Ondra, were walking right ahead of me and they never even noticed the purse. And it was lying there right in the middle of the road.
Human bones at
You're
the edge
a
of
lucky
Scalit's
man.
Woods.
This
Mary,
time.
Mother of
But it
God,
all evens out in the end
preserve
anyway.
Aye, true enough. God's millstones will grind you down eventually.
Mary, Mother of God, preserve us.
Remember you were telling me you looked the house over to see what needed fixing after the winter? Now I'm sorry I did. How's that?
God be with you.
Can you tell me who I can buy something from or sell to?
Aye, Votaba, the pond keeper, is your man. He ought to be by the granary. At least that's the last place I saw him.
What do you think about Sigismund withdrawing?
It was a stroke of good luck. I know everyone says how clever Sidivish is and all that, but it was a dangerous situation. That Sigismund is awful unpredictable. He abducts the king, raids towns, brings foreign mercenaries into the heart of our country. God alone knows what he'll get up to next. God be with you.
Gone, and we've got nothing to worry about. And we can always come and take shelter here at the castle. Anyway, you said yourself you don't believe a word Vilma says. So stop working yourself up. Everything's fine, and that's how it'll stay.
Aye, but...
No buts. Everything will be all right. Got it?
I suppose.
That's an evil omen.
Aye. We'll be stricken like Sodom and Gomorrah.
I'm afraid you're wrong. Aye, I saw them. Damn. Made my blood run cold.
I heard they eat their prisoners and make broth from corpses.
God in heaven. Man-eaters. For Christ's sake, where did you hear such a thing?
I hear our scouts found a fresh pile of human bones at the edge of Scalit's Woods.
Don't worry. I've never...
The best thing for him. Traveling merchant. He had it in Prague, and he said it was delicious. All right, so I'll try it. And if he doesn't,
God be with you.
I'll lock him in the hen coop, so he'll have a proper appetite next time.
Is there someone here who trades in goods?
Votava's your man. He's the local dealer, a skinny fellow. I saw him by the granary. He'll buy anything that has any value, and he'd sell you his own granny. If he hadn't already sold her long since. Farewell.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin. May the Lord watch over you.
Can we do something about the price?
Why not?
Are we agreed?
That sounds pretty.
What about this?
A nice sum. Just lower your demands a little and we'll agree.
I knew we'd come to an arrangement. Can we trade?
If you've got the coin. Good luck to you.
My respects to you.
That business with Sigismund turned out well in the end, didn't it?
Aye, that was a good start. Now we need to drive him and his war whores out of Bohemia for good.
Is there someone here who trades in goods?
Hungry, are you? You should go and see the cook. She's good-hearted, especially if you come with some coin. For anything else, you should see a fellow called Votava. Folk aren't too fond of him, because he's as surly as a wet cat. But he can get you just about anything. I saw him by the granary. You'll recognize him easy. He looks like he's never had a decent meal in his life.
I need to get out of here.
And I need a feather bed with a comely wench in it. But it looks like we'll both be disappointed. Sir Divish gave orders not to open the gate, and you especially are not to be let out.
My mother and father were left in Skalitz like carrion. I have to bury them. I can't leave them to the dogs.
I'm sorry, my friend, but I can't. You'll have to persuade Sir Robard, or think something up so I don't end up in the shit for it. Otherwise, forget it.
What am I supposed to think up?
How should I know? Maybe some disguise so I could say I didn't recognize you? If a Talmberg soldier turns up all kitted out properly, in armor and a helmet, then of course I let him go. That's obvious.
All right, I'll have a look around for something.
Farewell.
Huh?
Greetings. What do you need?
That was a close thing this morning, eh?
If you knew Sir Divish like I do, you wouldn't be so concerned. Being imprisoned might have injured his health, but there's no one can rival him for cleverness and cunning.
Really?
It's not for nothing he was made the King's Burgrave in Prague a few years back. Folk still talk of how he settled the dispute between Father Peck and Sir Pshibik. Good luck, then.
The Lord be praised. What's on your mind?
My lady, I hope you weren't unduly distressed by the arrival of Sigismund's army this morning.
Well, it was to be expected. And thanks to God's mercy and my good husband, there was no more bloodshed. But it's something else that distresses me. Maybe my mind deceives me, but I have an evil foreboding.
You, my lady? Surely not. No evil could possibly come to you.
I fear something bigger and worse will come. That Sigismund is only another omen of imminent evil. Of great evil.
I would like to ask your assistance, my lady, if I may be so bold.
What's the matter, lad?
I need to get out of the castle, and your husband is keeping me here by force.
Why, for the love of God, would you want to leave the castle?
My parents are lying in the mud of Skalitz at the mercy of dogs and jackdaws. I can't just leave them there.
That's terrible. May the Lord have mercy on their souls. But how can I help you, Henry? I don't want your death on my conscience.
If I could just get past the guard at the gate somehow.
But you can. If you wear a proper suit of armour, and if he can't see your face, he won't recognise you and he'll let you go.
Good thinking. And where can I get the armour?
At the armoury?
Where's that?
In the gate tower. But the soldiers sleep in other places around the castle too, and you might find armour nearby.
Well, they'll certainly ask where I'm going.
You could tell them Sir Robard sent you to Ujitz, to ask the parish priest how the folk there are faring.
That sounds reasonable. Thank you, my lady. I must go now.
God bless.
Fuck, that fool from Scullets has gone and jumped in the moat! Raise the alarm! He's trying to escape! You men down there! There's a prisoner escaping! Catch him! There, below the battlement!
What's going on out there?
He's over there somewhere!
What have we here?
I see him! After him!
Mother of God! You look like you've been assaulted.
I'd like to order something here.
And what is it you'd like?
I see him! After him! I saw him by the bath! I saw him by the bath! I see him!
I'd like that. Thank you.
As you wish. Do you have the coin?
I'm not giving you that much.
And you won't regret spending the money. I guarantee it. Take care.
Looking for someone?
What's going on out there?
Can I help? Who's there? Has something happened? What's that?
Got you! Jesus, you gave me the runaround.
Let me go, for Christ's sake! I have to bury my parents!
You're going nowhere. Except back inside.
If I don't bury them now, they'll be ripped to pieces by jackdaws and scattered over unhallowed ground, and I'm stuck here, a stone's throw away.
All right, shove me. I'll pretend you caught me off guard and I fell over. I'll deal with the others. You just get out of here on the double. Kurva! Ah! Cramp! Damn it. Come here, lads. Never mind that.
Looks like they've already gone. Jesus.
Who's there?
charcoal burner.
Hey! No! Leave me be! Don't kill me. I have nothing.
Lightly, guy with a sword in his hand. You stood by his side and he did this to you. In the end, you were a hero. You didn't run away. You didn't abandon like me. Why? Not you. It wasn't supposed to be you, Bianca. I'll find the bastards that did this to you. I'll find them. I swear it. Just wait and wait. Take care of my parents, and then I'll come back for you. I won't leave you like this. Take this as a keepsake to remember you by. Okay. Why did you do it to me, Father? Why? Why did you leave me? Forgive me. Forgive me for everything. Next time I won't run. I'll never run away again. I'll find the one who did this to you. I remember his face. I'll find him. But first, I have to find a shovel and take care of you. I remember you told me you wanted to lie beside Mother. Here. Under the linden tree. At least I can do that much for you.
Get away, you mutt! Get away, you beast!
What's going on? Zbyszek, what in God's name are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing? Digging turnips? The beast just went for me.
Isn't that Mutt the butcher's... Mutt? And isn't that body the butcher's?
Yeah, that's him. What's that got to do with anything?
I'd say the poor creature is standing guard over his master. You weren't trying to get to him, were you?
What do you care what I'm doing here? What are you doing here?
Came to bury my parents.
So bury them and leave me be.
Do you know what happened to Teresa from the mill? When I fled, the Cumans wanted to... They meant to violate her, and God knows what else.
No, I don't know. What do I care? They probably raped her and killed her like all the others. Her misfortune. Right now, I've got to take care of myself.
How did you manage to get away?
How do you think? I ran.
Would you lend me that spade? I have to dig a grave, and I can't find another.
What's it worth to you? I see you have a fine sword. I'll gladly trade you my spade for that. How did you come by it, anyway?
My father forged it for Sir Radzig. It's my duty to deliver it to him. It's not for sale.
Go right ahead and dig that grave with your sword. See how that goes. And where will you dig it anyway? Here? You're not going to lay your parents in unhallowed ground, are you?
Father said he wanted to be buried here, and I can't take them to St. James's. God willing, later I can find a priest to consecrate the ground. I've interrupted you robbing the dead. Is that why you're so ill-tempered? You bastard. Haven't you got a shred of honour?
And what of it? The butcher has no more need of coin. And now that I think of it, your sword would do me quite nicely as well. Will you hand it over without a fuss, or do you want to end up like the butcher here?
The only way you'll touch this sword is when I shove it in your guts.
So that's the way of it? Not without a sword, huh? Well, this isn't the end, fucker!
Easy there, boy. You know me. Your good master won't be needing this anymore. You're gonna like it here. So, let's get to it.
Damn it all. How am I going to do this?
Do you need some help? Is that him?
Yes. Can't you see the sword?
Who are you? What do you want? Is Bishek?
Who do you think we are? Franciscan brothers? We're here to rob you of everything you've got. Especially that fine blade that's of no use to a peasant like you anyway.
Banish the thought. It is my father's sword.
You mean him? I don't think he's going to be needing it anymore. Listen here, boy. You hand over that sword, I might just let you go. If not, you're in for a family reunion you really don't want.
Leave me alone.
Kill him, Runt! Aye, cut the bastard down.
As you like. Could have just cost you a few teeth.
Ah!
Come here, little I told you how it would end. You should have listened to me. This is nice work. The chief is going to like it. It's new, isn't it? And now, for the maiden bloodletting. Surely your father never would have imagined it would be your blood. I believe there's a word for such moments. The old man would certainly know. But I'm just a common killer. Did you help make it? No doubt you did. Such miserable luck. To die by the sword you helped forge.
Hey, go fuckers! The games are over.
George! Disperse this rebel!
Do you need some help?
Henry! There's work to be done. Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise.
Henry, can you hear me?
Get up, Henry. Wake up. It's a new day.
Henry, can you hear me? Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Teresa?
You still have a fever. Uncle won't be pleased, but you'll have to stay in bed.
Where am I? In Skalitz?
We're at my uncle's mill in Rattay. I didn't know where else to go.
What happened?
You don't remember anything? I suppose that's not surprising. I found you in Skalitz after those bandits attacked you. I thought they'd done for you, but you were still breathing. Why in heaven's name did you go back there? It was madness. They slaughtered everyone who didn't run.
My parents, I wanted to bury them. I had to...
Don't worry. I took care of it.
Thank you.
Any good Christian would have done the same. Now sleep. You need your strength back. You're awake.
Good morning.
It's near midnight. You've slept all day.
Oh. Oh, I feel like a horse fell on me.
The beating you took was worse. But at least the fever's broken.
How did you manage to save me?
You were lucky. I was in Skalitz and I saw Zbyszek and his thugs. I tried to distract them, but it would have been no use if those soldiers from Talmberg hadn't arrived. They were searching for you and scattered the bandits.
What in the world were you doing in Skalitz?
Waiting to die.
What?
They killed my brothers, my family. My friends.
They're all dead.
All of them. Everyone I ever loved. They killed one of my brothers in the mines. After that, what did I have to live for?
Don't say that. There's always hope.
No, there isn't. But it doesn't matter. I'm a different person now.
Searching for me?
Yes. Lord Divish sent them, led by Captain Robard. So tell me, why is a lord of such high standing interested in a blacksmith?
Sir Divish promised Sir Radzig he'd look after me. But as for why they should care, I've no idea. Oh, I'm exhausted.
I'm not surprised. I'll bring you water and something to eat. In the meantime, rest. You're still very weak. Good morning to you. How's the invalid today?
Ugh, haven't felt as good as this since they lashed me to the wheel and quartered me on the town square.
Got your sense of humour back. You must be better. My uncle will be glad to hear it. I had a job persuading him to let me bring you here. If you'd lain around much longer, he really would have dumped you on the town square. You can stay until you find somewhere else to live, but my uncle will want payment for taking you in and caring for you.
I've been lying here long enough.
Uncle will be pleased he's one mouth less to feed. But are you truly well enough?
Well enough to do what has to be done. Where can I find Sir Radzig?
He's in the lower castle in Perkstein. He's a guest of Sir Hanush of Leipa. But someone like you can't just walk up bold as you please and demand an audience.
I know Sir Radzig, and I didn't bring him his sword as I was supposed to. I must see him.
If you insist. But you need to speak to my uncle first. You've been in your sickbed for over a fortnight while he paid the apothecary to tend to you, and for medicine. That's a good deal of a coin you owe him.
I've been lying here 2 weeks. My God.
Better a fortnight in bed than an eternity in the grave. If it weren't for my uncle, you wouldn't be here at all.
I owe you both my life, and I'll repay my debt. You have my word.
All right. But before you go to town, you should eat something. You're still weak. There's food on the table for you.
A word with you, young fellow.
My name's Henry. Thank you for taking care of me here.
My name's Peshek, and I'm the miller here. You've already met my niece, Teresa. She took care of you for 2 whole weeks while you were in limbo. And talking of you being at death's door, while you were lying here, you worked up quite a bill with the bloodletter, who came now and again to keep you alive with his potions. That quack doesn't come cheap. I paid him what I could, but I still, that is, you still owe him.
I see. Well, it's better to be in debt than to lie dead in a ditch. What do I owe? I'm not afraid of hard work.
You won't pay for that shoveling manure. I might have a better job for you. And it's not something any fool can do. If you prove to me you're a clever lad, I might trust you with something you could really make money from. What do you say?
Well, what would you need from me?
A trifle. Just to take something from someone and bring it to someone else. And not get caught while you're doing it.
That sounds straightforward enough. Except for not get caught. Why would anyone want to catch me?
Oh, don't worry. It's just a job like any other. Only this one requires, let's say, the right moral disposition. Do corpses bother you?
No honourable man should touch them. That's the executioner's job.
Did you expect I'd give you a hoe and send you out to the fields? You can dig all right, but somewhere else. I want to know whether you're going to hide behind some stupid fucking scruples, or if you might be useful for more unconventional work.
I was prepared for just about anything, but that's a bit much. But go on. Tell me more.
Listen, it's about this ring my mate Wojciech, the Kohelnitz miller, had his eye on. Trouble is, they buried the ring by the gibbet along with the villain they hung while he was wearing it.
Jesus Christ. You want me to dig up a corpse, take a ring from it, and give it to your friend in Kohelnitz? Is nothing sacred to you?
Money first, morals later. That fellow is dead. He won't miss it. Whatever bleeding heart came up with the idea that it to disturb a corpse never read the Bible. It's still a human body, only it's missing a soul. Why be disgusted by something created by God?
I think I've already heard more than I need to know. You've got the tongue of the devil himself. If you tried hard enough, I bet you could justify sodomy with a goat.
Watch your mouth, boy. There's a shovel here around the mill somewhere. If there's any problem, come and see me. And here's something on the side to make you dig better.
Thanks. I'll need it. I can't believe I've come to this. Digging up corpses.
Oh, and watch out for the executioner and his hounds. They're pretty savage. And I don't just mean the dogs. You can just throw them some meat. The dogs, that is. But the executioner? Well, don't vex him. God be with you.
I feel quite hungry. Where can I find a shovel?
There's one right outside, leaning against the cart.
Can you tell me... What about the Skalitz folk?
God sent them to punish us for our sins. They don't work, they just idle around begging. And you want to keep a close eye on your belongings when they're around. I'll be glad to see the back of them.
What do you think about everything that's happened?
I don't concern myself with the doings of my betters. But this mess isn't good for business. Them two brothers should sort things out between themselves without dragging us into it. I don't give a damn who's king, but that usurper from Hungary has gone too far.
Do you know anything about those Cumans?
The heathen scum that Sigismund brought here. Why do you even ask? You've seen with your own 2 eyes what they're capable of.
That's all.
May the Lord watch over. Try unlocking this trunk. Hold the lockpick in your right hand and use it to feel out the tumbler. In your left hand, you hold the blade and use it to turn the whole mechanism at the right moment. It's quite easy. It only takes a bit of practice. Now try poking around in the lock with the pick until you feel the right point where the tumbler is. Got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock with the blade, but don't stop holding the tumbler with the pick. Otherwise, it'll be fucked and you'll have to start all over again. You're a dab hand, Hal. Make something out of you yet. But remember, this trunk's only for practice. With real locks, you have to watch out for the pick. Try it a few more times if you like. And then good luck with the real thing.
Have you eaten yet?
Yes, it was very good. Did you bake it yourself?
I did. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Henry, I'm so glad to see you.
What's that dog you have here? He looks familiar.
Don't you remember him? It's Mart, the butcher's dog from Skalitz.
Ah, of course. When I went back to bury my parents, he was guarding his master's dead body. A faithful dog. How come he's here?
When we carted you here, we took Mutt along too. He's been hanging around the mill ever since.
How's he doing?
A lot better now. I slipped him something good now and again when Uncle wasn't looking.
He won't starve to death then. What does the miller have to say about it?
He can't stand him.
How's that?
Every time he sees him, he starts shouting that he's a useless mouth to feed and that he'll skin him.
Jesus.
And it didn't even soften his heart when Mutt brought a hare from the woods. He was happy to eat it, but it didn't change his mind.
I could have a word with him.
That would be a waste of time.
Does he obey you?
Me? Not much. He's got a mind of his own, and I'm just not strict enough.
Ah, spoilt then.
No, he just hasn't learned many commands. But he's well able to beg for a piece of meat.
How long has he been with you?
More or less since we came here. He runs off now and again, but he always comes back. Sometimes I don't see him all day. I think he likes to go wandering.
So he's doing quite well then?
Yeah. I'd keep him, but he reminds me too much of Tinker, you know? I don't want to think about Skalitz. So I thought maybe you might take him with you?
Me?
I'm sure the two of you would get on great. He's a handsome fella and lovable. I'd be very happy if you had him.
But we never had a dog at the smithy. We never needed one.
Come on. He's got no one.
All right. I'll take him. He can keep me company on my travels.
Thanks, Henry. Go and get him then. He's sniffing around somewhere here.
Have you got a moment? I'd like to ask a few questions about Skalitz. I don't remember much.
All right. What do you want to know?
How did you get me away from Skalitz?
It wasn't easy. Sir Robard and his men helped load you on a wagon and we harnessed an old nag the bandits had left behind. The soldiers escorted us all the way here, God bless them.
What about the bandits?
Sir Robard and his men routed them. They killed the few, but the giant who attacked you fled, and Zibishek with him. It won't be safe in Skalitz for a while yet.
Why would Zibishek do that? I never thought much of him, but banditry?
He was always a nasty piece of work. It doesn't surprise me he joined them. If you knew what he did to me.
Tell me.
When those
Cumans, they call them. When the Cumans came, Zbyszek pushed me out in front of them and fled. He sacrificed me to save his own hide.
That bastard. Where's the sword I had?
You had a sword? It's gone now. Those scum took everything, including your horse.
I don't give a damn about the horse. I stole it anyway. But my father forged that sword for Sir Radzig. I promised Father I'd take it to him. I have to get it back.
Well, you can't. Just be thankful you're still alive.
What happened to the other survivors from Skalitz?
They sought refuge in Ratay, and some of the Ratay folk are none too happy about it.
And Matthew, Fritz and Matthias? Johanka? Did they make it?
They're alive. I heard Matthias is at the stud farm in Merhojed. Johanka is in Sasau, and Fritz and Matthew, well, you know them. They're up to no good somewhere. The only trouble they'll be in is of their own making.
What about Sir Radzig?
Sir Hanush, he's the Lord of Ratay. He gave his lower castle to Sir Radzig, a place called Perkstein. Sir Hanush lives at the upper castle. The Skalitz folk have made camp in front of it.
How did you get away from those Cumans?
You're wrong. If it hadn't been for you... When they came to the mill, they slaughtered everyone, and kept me for last. After you distracted them, I fled to the mines to find my brother, but he... My brother was dead, but I owe my life and more to you.
And I owe mine to you. The scales are balanced. I won't trouble you anymore. Let's leave it be. I'd like to know... So, how'd you like it in Ratay?
It's a big town with good strong walls, so I suppose we're safe here. And they took us in our hour of need, but for how much longer? They'll grow tired of us soon enough.
How are the Skalitz folk getting on?
They're alive, that's the main thing. They have shelter, but they're just scraping by. Ratay's citizens aren't happy the town is full of beggars who don't look like leaving anytime soon.
Do you know anything about those Cuman rapists? About... you know.
They came to Hungary from God knows where, and now they... Well, folk tell awful stories about them. I hope I never see them again.
That's all. What are you up to? How would you like to, I don't know, come for a walk?
A walk? I'd like that very much, but I can't right now, Hal. Give me some time to settle in, will you?
If that's what you want.
It's not you, Hal. It's just this isn't a good time.
Hey, Mutt. Remember me? From Skalitz, remember? You want to go with me? Come on then, we'll get on like a house on fire. Follow me.
Good day to you. Take care now.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
That's a good boy. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.